There you go.
Yo,
Brother, what's going on?
nothing much, man. It's another day, dog.
Hey, my bad. I'm not sure if I'm mispronouncing your last name, but I introduced you as Trey Ellzey. Is that how you
It,
say it? Ellzey? Ellzey?
it's Ellzey. Yeah,
Ellzey. Okay,
Ellzey.
Trey Ellzey.
Yeah.
There we go. Now this is the owner of Scorpio's Natural, and then he's about to bring it to you guys. What's going on? Everything all right, brother?
Hey, everything's good, man. The company's doing good. It's definitely I would definitely say it's more prosperous than I expected, but everything's running along,
There you
man.
go. There you go. I was talking to the homie the other day, and I was just like, finding a good raw feed guy or company is almost like trying to find a plug, like
Yeah.
trying to find a good drug dealer. That's
Yeah, man.
because like you want to go to Petco, you want to go to PetSmart, but the quality of the meat, you just know is not the same. You can't just go to
Right.
Publix and go get some beef because you already know that beef at the store is not even good for you to eat.
They
So it's
got
kind of like,
additives and all type of different GMOs, steroids, the
see what
whole
I'm
nine.
saying?
Right,
So,
right, right.
so it's like when you find somebody who actually has some good quality stuff, it's like trying to find the right plug, man.
Yeah, that's
So salute to you,
for
brother. You're
sure.
doing some good things,
I
man.
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
So I got a couple questions for you. So what inspires you to start a raw pet food company?
I had a feeling you was gonna ask me that. Actually, it started off. She was American Bulldog, pit mix. Nothing too crazy, but I had a dog where she had tumors on her stomach, and
Okay.
I took her to the vet. They telling me, this and that, run these different scans, the whole nine. They're like, hey, what are you feeding her? And I was like, well, I just started feeding raw about 2 weeks ago, and I'm seeing a lot, a lot different. Like the way she moves is
Oh
different, the way she
yeah,
acts is
yeah.
different, and I'm starting to see some of the tumors kind of like fade away. And
Hmm.
the vet was like, "Hey man, I ain't gonna tell you what vet it was, but the vet was like, hey man, you killing your dog, man. You cooking your dogs inside. You
by
can't, they
by
can't eat."
feeding raw.
Right. So I'm like, damn, everybody say raw is the best way to go. This is the way, nature
You're right.
intended, my slogan. So I'm like, well, I ain't trying to kill my dog, but, I'm going to listen to the vet. And,
Yeah,
I took my dog
the
off of
vets, man.
kibble. Yeah, bro. I took my dog off of kibble. Took my dog off of raw, put her back on kibble. And I'll probably say 2 months later, bro, the tumors came back times 10. And, after that, then I had, the dog that people probably know me for.
Yeah.
And I started with her, and I'm like, man, let me start off right with her, and then as she builds, and I'll build off of that. And
Hmm.
man, it went really well. And then, I had told you before that she had passed.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, that was a good looking girl, man.
man, she
That was
was,
a good looking girl.
yeah, she was
Where,
that,
where,
that
where,
man.
where did you get her from? How'd you come across her?
Man, so I'm not really, really big on genetics with dogs. Well, I am big on genetics, but at the same time, I feel like I could take or transform any dog
Right.
with the proper nutrients and the proper exercise.
There
You
you
can
go.
pretty
Yep.
make you can make any dog turn into a show dog if you
Do
do it the right way.
it the right way. Okay,
Um,
so you're not into the business of going out there spending 8K for a dog when you can go ahead and give it the proper exercise and
yeah,
diet to get them to look right.
right,
Okay.
right. Because a lot of people, they give their dog the food, and then and the dog it look happy, but overall, that dog ain't gonna live that long.
Yeah,
And
yeah, 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 yeah.
especially nowadays where you have dogs that's not, they're breeding for size and things like that. The dogs aren't living past like 3 to 4 years old.
Hmm.
So uh, damn, I forgot the question you asked me. My
No,
bad.
you,
I
you
get
pretty
carried away.
you pretty much answered it, bro. I'm just gonna piggyback up how you answered. So
Mhm.
that whole feeding kibble and raw is actually a real thing, bro, because I've been seeing a huge difference in how my dogs start off when they're puppies, like their coats be
Right.
shiny, they just look
Yeah.
brand new. But then as they get older, past that 3 to 4 age, they seem
It
like they just
changed.
start like slowing down and rotting. I'm just
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what? And
Yeah.
their feet start to smell. You got that Cheetos smell. I'm just like, bro, what is that, fam? Like, and then
Man,
they're pooping 5 times a day. Sometimes they may have diarrhea. Sometimes it might. I'm like, I must be doing something wrong. But
Yeah.
then it all relates back to food, and then I'm not really that deep into feeding raw as I should be. But the
Mm.
knowledge I came across, of which I'm pretty sure you agree with, is that feeding raw basically pretty much cleanses out your dog's system. Like
Right,
it
right.
keeps them fresh. Like your dog start decaying like some old shoes or something, and it's
Yeah.
like it's
Yeah.
crazy, bro.
That's pretty much like a buildup of fungus or some type of
And it's
bacteria in the
all in
paws,
their
you know.
gut.
Yeah, all that stuff starts in the gut, you know, and one of the things that I am proud about is I created my own blend when it comes to like a detox.
Oh,
So I also sell it's a pumpkin blend. It has pumpkin, it has sweet potatoes, and it has cucumbers in it. So I'll give the dog roughly like half a pound of that
okay.
per feeding, depending on how the person feeds their dog. But man, I've seen so much just from this one product that I produce that it's like it, man, like it shocked me. And I'm
So,
like,
but why do you, don't mean to cut you off, but why do you use cucumber?
cucumber is a great hydrator.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know, but a cucumber is roughly between I think 90 and 97, 98% water.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
kibble tends to dry out your dog.
Mhm.
So what I'll do, let's say if it's somebody that does feed kibble, you'll notice throughout the day your dog's just like guzzling, guzzling, guzzling water,
Mhm.
and they get that bloat. That comes
Mhm.
from the dog eating kibble, and then it sucks up everything in the gut. Once it does that, it tells your dog's brain, "Hey, I'm thirsty, I'm thirsty,"
Right.
and you know that's how a lot of dogs get bloat and things like that.
And you
So
know that makes sense because like when you feed it raw naturally has like blood
yeah,
in it,
it
and
has
it's a
water
good mixture
already in
between
it.
the liquid. Yeah. There you
Right,
go.
right, right. So I'm like, well, I can add something like a cucumber. If the person doesn't want to commit to raw, you can add something like a cucumber to the dog food just
Mhm.
to help hydrate it a little more.
That's good
I started off,
information right there. I didn't know
man,
that.
I started off basically like putting water in the dog food, like half
Yeah.
a cup, let it soak till it gets a little
Yeah.
mushy, and then, you know, let them go in. And then a lot of things that they don't tell you about kibble is that kibble causes plaque. So yeah. So if you look at a lot of dogs and they're like under the age of 1 or around that 2 age, that 2 year mark, and you see, hey man, the dog has a little bit of plaque buildup, the teeth are changing colors. That's from eating kibble, man. It's no different than you eating, you know, junk food every single day. You're not brushing your
Yeah.
teeth. What do you
Right.
think gonna happen to it? You know what I'm
And
saying?
I started noticing it depends on the dogs as well too, because all my dogs eventually build up plaque. But
Yeah,
then sometimes some of them it takes a little while for it to build up than others.
yeah,
But I used to, lift my dog's lip up and
yeah.
see all that brown stuff,
Right,
and I'm just
right,
like, bruh, like, don't tell me I'm supposed to brush this. I don't like brushing my
right,
dog's teeth.
right, right.
I don't go in there. They don't like me brushing their teeth neither.
Yeah.
So like, feeding raw, like having like a bone
Hmm.
is like ideal to help scrape off all
Right,
that
right.
plaque, man.
Yeah, so around I'll probably say between 2 and 4. That's when you'll start to see like the plaque buildup, which is that's fine.
Mhm.
Um, you just don't want to see it as a puppy. As a puppy, they get plaque buildup, and then eventually they get the bad breath,
Bad
and you know
breath.
the whole nine. But
Yeah.
the plaque buildup it comes with age over time anyway.
Anyway,
But right, but obviously if you're giving your dog bones here and there, you know they're cleaning their teeth
right.
and grinding down on it, they'll pretty much be fine.
Okay. What's some hardships that you faced owning a business, just period, just starting out with your own thing, being an entrepreneur? What's some hardships that you face?
Uh, man, the one of the biggest things for me is asking for help, man, because it's like you want to do things on your own just because you have like a certain people or a certain environment where people don't really want you to succeed like that,
Mhm.
and man, that's been the toughest part for me because I've been, you know, studying, doing all my research, trying to put the work in on my own, but you know, every now and again you're gonna need somebody else that's in the game or somebody else that knows a little bit more. You're gonna have
Yeah,
to pick
yeah,
from that, you know,
yeah,
build your own pieces and put it together.
yeah.
Um,
That's real. That's real.
and one of the biggest hardships for my own personal company is being patient, man. Um, I know you spoke about that a few times in a few of your lives, you know, being patient, letting the dog mature and grow,
And
not
grow,
just
yeah.
saying, yeah, not just like, oh man, my dog ain't this, my dog ain't that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's having patience, man, because a lot of the things that I'm doing, it requires more time than I expected. I
Yeah.
was thinking, when I first started, oh, I'm gonna start this off myself, give it to my dog, see how it turns out. And it went from that to you putting in 10, 15 orders, every other day. And it's like, damn, I didn't think I was going.
Bubble up like that, yeah.
Those are pretty much my two hardships with my own business and starting a company.
Yeah, starting a business is never an easy thing. I done started five, three of them don't
Oh
fail,
yeah,
two of them doing
yeah,
all right, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. And
like
then
people don't like, people see you start something and they just be thinking that, oh, you got it, you good. Like, nah, man, I'm gonna
nah,
need help. Like, you
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, because it takes a lot of money just to start, and then on
right,
top of that, you need branding, you need marketing, you need having help or having people to come in, maybe share your stuff or give
right,
you
right,
input on where maybe this would be your targeted audience. That could
right.
take you a long way. Another question. I mean, you kind of sort of touched on this,
Mhm.
but what are some key benefits for feeding raw? Like just some
Um,
key benefits.
One of the key benefits, man, you see your dog becomes more alive.
Yeah.
As they grow older, they're eating, all these different meats. The same thing that a wolf would be eating in the wild, or a wild dog would be eating. And man, there's different things that you can feed your dog to lubricate the joints at an early age.
Right.
Things you can do for the coat and the teeth, the whole, like, the digestive system is is a market for so many different things.
Okay.
But man, with my personal dogs, I used to have like a lot of eye boogers and tear stains and things like that from feeding raw. But man, so far everything that I've been doing, the dogs have been great, the coats have been great, more energy. Feeding raw, your dog's definitely gonna live a few years longer for sure.
So what would you say is some downsides to feeding raw? I mean, I know my downside is
Paper.
huh? The paper, yeah.
Yeah, for
That
sure.
that and like the time that it was gonna take, because the reason why we got to talk about why kibble is such a main thing now. Kibble is a
Yeah,
main thing now because how easy it is to
quick and
access.
simple.
Just throw it in the bowl and then walk away.
Right, right.
But like some of the challenges I have is just like first finding a good dealer, someone who
Hmm.
has good quality food, and also the time that it takes to like properly make sure everything is in there, and then defrosting and all that,
Right.
having the freezer. So what are some challenges you would say, or just the two?
Um, for me personally, some of the challenge I've seen is dealing with the meat, man. You get meat from different places, different cuts of meat, and if you don't chop it down, break it up, and grind it fast enough, or have it refrigerated fast enough, it goes bad. You could spoil like $150 worth of meat.
Oh,
So and like I said, that's one of the things that I started to learn. Okay, if I'm taking meat out of the freezer, or I'm taking meat out of the fridge, it needs to be cooled, or it needs to be in an ice bucket, or
yeah.
something along that sort, just to keep it
Okay.
fresh. And
Okay.
so that's pretty much my main thing. And then again was the time. Like, for example, I started off with a dehydrator where I didn't want to put all my money into something that I wasn't sure was going to work.
Yeah.
So I started off with something small, and then once the company started picking up, then I went to something a
Bigger.
little
Okay.
a little bigger or
Okay.
better. But the dehydrating the turkey necks, that could take anywhere between 8 to 24 hours, depending on how many slabs of meat I have on there.
Mm.
So that's why I meant by, like, the time is like crucial,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
and if you don't have the dehydrator set high enough and you got the meat in there, it'll start to go bad. So you got to make sure that the temperature's on point. It's a lot that goes into it. But for the main thing, it was buying meat, making sure that the pricing was right. I don't want to create a product that's really good, but only wealthy people can pay for it. I
That's
wanted a
true. Yeah.
product where it could branch off.
Help it.
Anybody can buy this. Hey, I want to do this for like a week, see how it goes. You can do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And another thing
Boy, you
is the
better than me, boy, because when I started business, I'm just trying to hit a certain person. I be trying to hit a certain kind of pocket, man. You know what I'm saying? You
not
better
see
than me.
that's not that's the thing. I started off. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go straight for this. Let me go grab a building and brick or somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
No,
And
but
then
you're
when you
doing a good
start,
service by actually
right,
helping other people. You know what I'm
right.
saying? That's real.
And I didn't want it to be like, okay, I start making product and then I grow big, and then now I'm charging the same thing that you would go to PetSmart and Petco to go buy. You
There
see what
you
I'm saying?
go.
I want to continue to build on the market that I started with,
Yeah,
and I want it to be for everybody. My prices aren't extremely expensive or anything like that. I'm a little bit lower than Petco, but
yeah.
it's around that ballpark.
So I always vouch for small businesses, especially when it comes to dog food products or feeding raw. Because I used to work when I was in school, when I was at UF. I used to work at this feed store, and
Hmm.
the guys I was working for, they own cows for real, and
Yeah,
they'll go butcher the cow, and it's not a part of the store, but they'll just start selling cow meat on the low in the
yeah.
refrigerator, and they'll bring back deer and all that stuff. And I was
Hmm.
like, you know what? I say, let me go let me get a pack of that. Take it out of my paycheck.
Hmm.
Yeah, go ahead, take some, and I'll bring it to my dogs. Man, my dogs were just,
Yeah,
and then you could just see the texture of the meat. It's
it's
just different,
different.
the coloring of it. And you
Right,
could just tell that they're actually getting the real source of it, bro. So like I tell everybody, small businesses do a better job at, sticking to their morals, sticking to their guns.
right, right,
Bigger companies like PetSmart or Petco, they have to like do things to preserve money and to like their basic thing is to charge you as much as they can to make a profit. So that's why
right,
I vouch for
right.
small businesses.
Yeah, man. That I mean, again, before I even started, the company or anything like that, I'm like, dang, how much is it to feed raw? Let me go check in with somebody. Let me try to figure out how much this is, how much that is, and then the prices that they giving me, I'm like, damn, I don't know if I can do
Do
that,
it.
And then
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
started doing my own research, and I'm like, man, this ain't as bad as they said it was. It's if you get the right cuts of meat, you can do a lot with it, man,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay. So what feedback have you gotten from customers lately?
I've had a few people tell me literally like, "Hey, man, this is some of the best stuff that I've used." The turkey necks, those are universal. And what I mean by that is you can give it to your dog straight out of the package. You can literally take because it's dehydrated, you can take it, put it in water, soak it for a few minutes, maybe an hour or two, and it rejuvenates like it was a regular raw turkey neck.
Okay.
So
There you go.
I've had a lot of people tell me about that. I had a few people tell me that their dogs had worms, giving them the pumpkin and, all these different things that I produced for them. It pretty much, it cleaned the gut, and that's the main thing. A lot of my clients, which I'm going to end up posting, a little bit later with the testimonials and things like that, every dog that I've produced food for, their coats look amazing. They're all
There you go.
shiny. They all
Okay.
look good. It looks glossy. Like these dogs look like they're sport
This for
dogs. You get what I'm saying?
dogs, yeah.
And this is for average people. I'm a little bit different. I like my dogs to have a little bit more of a gamey, athletic,
Have a look. Okay.
posture and look. But for the most part, that's kind of what most of these dogs need because they're being overfed.
Oh, fair.
You know,
And
so
I can vouch for your product, man. I tried out your turkey net, man. My dogs went crazy for the turkey
oh
net, man. That
man,
that
that
thing was
crunch ain't
great
no
for them.
joke, man.
And then not only that, but a fast benefit that I seen for only trying it for a couple of days is that their stools came out very hard. Like
That's what I
that's
was
one
going
thing.
to say. It hardens because it's bone and it's not just like a piece of jerky or a piece of meat. The bone is gonna solidify the dog poop. So if your dog has diarrhea, again, the product is universal. You can get this to your dog and it'll harden up the stool.
Okay,
So
that's perfect,
that's
man.
one of the things that's I'll say that separates me from the competitors. Like I
Yeah.
have something that a lot of people don't even talk about. If you search dehydrated turkey necks on YouTube, you're gonna get a few things, but you're not gonna get like a page where it's like constant teaching you, oh, this is what I do, this is how I do it. And starting a company, I wanted to make a YouTube also for what I wanted to see.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see the things that I wanted to see on YouTube. So
Yeah.
let me start to make my own product and put those things out there. And
Okay.
I'm like, how do you dehydrate a turkey neck? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you know, when I first started, I'm like, man, I'm gonna put this in the oven, put a thing on 400 until it, you know what I'm saying, pretty much just burn. And man, I was wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So after, you know, buying a dehydrator, you know, it literally cooks. It doesn't cook it. It dries it out from the inside out. You get
Okay.
what I'm saying?
Okay.
So the product has no water in it. It's completely been dry. You can get this to your dog as a treat. You can give it to him as a meal
Yeah.
topper. You
Definitely.
know, it's universal.
Okay, that's good stuff right there, man. You know, I first, you know, I had an idea of, you know, starting what you was doing, but I just couldn't do it. When I did the research, I know,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
too
man.
much, man.
Yeah, because you got to figure out, man. It's like, okay, I use a lot of oatmeal in some of my products. Like I have a product right here in front of me. It's my turkey blend. So this consists of turkey, oatmeal, carrots, and cucumbers.
Okay.
And then a lot of people may say, hey, you know, what happened to the 80-20 rule? What about the bone and this and
Yeah.
that? You know, so with the turkey, I pretty much take the turkey necks. The necks has a lot of phalanges and small bones like that, and I just grind that in there also, and I put it in, and it pretty much gives you a balanced meal.
Man, Trey, you doing some great stuff, brother.
Uh,
That's some good stuff
Appreciate
right
it,
there,
man.
man.
Appreciate
My
it.
last question for the day, man, is what's new? What do you have coming up? Any new products? What are you looking? Are you looking to expand? What can we
Yeah,
look for in the
so
future?
I'm definitely looking to expand. I got a lot more videos that I'm going to be posting. I'm going to be posting like on a weekly basis, and for product, man, I think you saw me post like a few weeks ago. I was trying something out and I took some turkey and I sliced it up pretty thin
Yeah.
and put it in the dehydrator. And I was like, man, I made some turkey. So, you know, and you can give that and you can train your dog with that. You know, it's
Yeah.
not just, oh, let me give it to him as a treat. You can actually train your dog with the
With
meat.
the meat.
And, you know, so, yeah, I got a lot of big plans for the company, man.
All right, there you go, man. All right, that's it for the day, brother, man. I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing you keep growing, keep doing your thing because I think just feeding is a main component for people. I
Yeah.
get questions all the time for people that I sell dogs to.
Uh,
What do I feed my dog? What do you feed your dog? What can I feed? I'm like, listen, man. Listen, you can go ask Trey, go ask Scorpio Natural, because listen, I'm on and off. So I try this, try that, but
yeah.
people like you who can actually give people a breakdown and actually supplying people with the right thing, that's some good stuff right there, brother.
And then for anybody that's wondering, hey, you know, I want to do this for my dog. Can I feed my dog this? Man, my inbox is always open. You can DM me with any questions that you have. If you're interested, you know, in some product, you know, let me know. I'm staying constantly on the page,
Mm-hmm.
so you know the page is closely monitored.
Okay. All right, Trey, that's it, man. Have a good day, brother. Till
All
next
right, man.
time.
You
All
too.
right.
Have a good one.